have my own timer. Okay. Dear fellow Galaxy residents, my name is Erwin Speech. Most people probably don't know me since, like most residents here, I live a busy life and therefore appreciate some peace and privacy at the place I call home. I admit I previously have not been involved in Galaxy politics. I personally did not know Jude, and until last week Saturday I had not really informed myself about the Appleview project. However, today I'm standing before you on behalf of more than 170 residents that signed a petition to find out more about the highly questionable course of action in regards to the dismissal and non-dismissal of some members of our staff. Today I'm standing before you on behalf of a rapidly growing group of owners that are concerned, shocked and frankly appalled by the actions and inactions of our board and management. I'm standing before you now as I simply cannot keep quiet any longer. Where to begin? In the last few months, we have seen such outrageous treatment of people, decision-making, denial, and cover-up that the 7 minutes I'm allowed to speak here won't be sufficient to address it all. Therefore, an uncut version of this address will be sent to everyone. Lately, we're increasingly witnessing our management and spa staff respond to owners' concerns with, "Would you like me to call security to escort you out?" They are following the board president's example of forcefully removing a speaker raising concerns about the Appleview project at the open board meeting in June. It seems to have become the go-to response for any question and concern that is raised, seemingly trying to intimidate residents and shut down any form of open communication. Has the Galaxy become a police state where all concerns, critiques and calls for honest answers are ignored, silenced and forcefully shut down? We've been introduced to a disclaimer owners need to sign in order to speak at this meeting that seems longer than the amount of time owners get to speak. It also includes the curious line, "I choose to speak at my own risk." I wonder, since when did it become a personal risk to speak freely at an open board meeting? Our board majority and management all too often use the threat of litigation, and most questions are rebuffed with, "We're not allowed to say anything." Why do you shield with litigation? So to stifle transparency, what do you have to hide? We've witnessed a board member in an agitated state shout at owners and residents at last week's Appleview meeting that we had no right to be so angry or to question their intentions and that respect was called for. It was this same board member who 2 board meetings ago, while rolling her eyes on camera said, I quote, "She's crazy," about an owner that shared her concerns about the Appleview project. How's that for respect? At the same Appleview meeting, other directors called for more owners' involvement and invited residents to give their perspectives, and they even called for a poll on Appleview. However, when owners spoke up and opposed their views, these members of our board majority walked out of the spa lounge while being spoken to have an impromptu, secret meeting in the activity room next door. What is that about? We've seen a ridiculous motion being passed regarding the dismissal of Jude Odenthal. The fact that our board secretary hasn't even followed up on this motion by contacting Jude only shows the disingenuous nature of that motion. Meanwhile, owners are still waiting for any response on the matter. We really need to address the enormous hypocrisy of it all, since we now know that our board majority first kept it a secret and then knowingly voted to keep a GM with an unlawful background. Since she is still here, we have yet to hear an intelligent rationale for that decision. We also saw a motion denied by the board majority for requests to a complete and impartial investigation of the alleged election fraud by our Galaxy Elections chairman and Gothenburg mayor. Having a mayor administer the election of a board that governs the majority of his constituents pretty much would be enough to raise some eyebrows. But red flags really should be raised when 2 of his relatives do not recuse themselves from a vote on a motion that calls for an inquiry into the possible illicit actions of their family member. Incredibly, neither them nor the board president, who may have benefited, recused themselves. No unethical behavior or conflict of interest there, you think? Let's assume that all the board members chose to be on this board, and let's assume that they have been elected fairly. Why are they so afraid of a complete and impartial investigation to eliminate any chance of fraud? At the explosive Appleview meeting, pun intended, Words and actions by some of our board members have raised very serious concerns. Just the mere fact that some directors have shown doubts about opposing Appleview shocked residents and calls to question these directors' competence in representing our safety. I urge everyone to see the excellent presentation on Appleview by the committee headed by Jeremy and Siad. After seeing the presentation and hearing all the industry experts, one truly wonders how anyone in their right mind can consider building even as much as a pop-up tent so close to the gas pipeline, let alone an entire apartment complex. All this concerns about Appleview seems to be waved away by our board majority or actively disregarded. Either way, it raises serious concerns about their motives. Our facilities manager and general manager are boasting that employee morale has never been better. We all know that unfortunately the opposite rings true. Never before have we seen such blatant disrespect for our valued staff with threats, firings and regular incidents, nor have we seen such turnover with people quitting or being fired and rules changing virtually daily. We are losing the real good people here every day. Jerry points fingers at Judy, Judy points fingers at Jerry, the board majority seems to blame no one. We hold all of you accountable. If you want to show some true leadership, let's throw away tonight's agenda and address these grave concerns at hand. Let's have an open and honest communication while everybody is here, instead of hiding behind closed doors, fake motions, and backdated, disingenuous letters in the name of transparency. God knows we have bigger fish to fry than the color of our carpeting, the amendment to SPA rules, or the replacement of the lower pool stairs. The trust in our board's majority and management has been lost. Our board beats its own drum about rooting out corruption and preaches transparency, yet never before have we seen so many concerns about blatant conflicts of interest and so much outrage about unethical behavior and bad decision-making affecting our finances, our lives, and our safety. My mother used to say, if it smells funny, don't eat it. What has happened and what is happening under our current board and management does not just smell funny anymore, it has started to stink, and we no longer want to eat it.